We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell. On Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Raj is still out with the flu, but that's okay because we're not. We are flu resistant here inside the Treehouse for the moment. And we'll get into that a little bit more here in just a little bit. But I wanted to start the show today with some really, really, really good news.
Excellent.
I know it's early into the new year, but every victory we can get, we need to take and appreciate and celebrate. Congratulations, everyone. We've done it. Murder hornets have been wiped out in the United States. Good job. That's the wrong button there. Trying to find. Here we go. Good job, everybody.
Excellent.
Good job.
Excellent. Huzzah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you.
Not only is that good because they were scary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But also good for bees. So we seem to be doing a better job of protecting.
We're taking better care of bees than ourselves. No, it really is. It actually is good news. We have wiped out murder hornets in the United States. 5 years after being spotted for the first time in Washington State near the Canadian border, the world's largest hornet has been declared eradicated in the United States. I still remember this 5 years ago. It's not quite a Kennedy moment, but I remember 5 years ago, the first headline I saw that said murder hornets infiltrate United States. I mean, I just got a chill thinking about it. I was like, my God, I remember that's one of the best headlines I've ever seen because it really made me not only want to read that story, but I felt like I needed to because I need to know what the hell a murder hornet is.
I just remember that that news coming out during COVID, and it's like, well, geez, what's next? Oh, murder hornets.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep.
As if things were not bad enough with everything going on in the world with COVID and masks and mandates and all these things. Then we get murder hornets to deal with. That was, honestly, at that point, I was okay staying home. I was like, it's fine. It's murder hornets. I'm sure there was even a conspiracy theorist who said murder hornets aren't real. It's just another way for the government to keep you in your house. At that point, I was like, fine, they win. I'm staying in the house. But yeah, known for its dangerous sting and ability to slaughter a honeybee hive in a matter of hours. The murder hornet. Thank God, eradicated in the United States. The Washington and the United States Departments of Agriculture announced the eradication last week, saying there had been no detections of murder hornets in Washington since 2021. Why are they just not telling us? I feel like that should have come out before. I guess they just wanted to make sure.
Right.
Yeah,
kind of like a remission period kind of thing.
Yeah, good on them for actually taking some time and making sure that information was correct.
It's actually funny when you think about it because we were more careful about the eradication and announcement of murder hornets than we were a COVID vaccine. We're like, we got one. We're pretty sure it's okay. Everyone take it. 4 years later, we've wiped out the murder hornets.
Speaking of, though, 4 years later, have you heard the term quademic?
No. What is? Please tell me there's not 4 more levels of murder hornets.
No, it's some cities are reporting a quademic, and some even talking about bringing back mask mandates. So the
because it went so well the first time.
Well, yeah. So now the quademic is flu, COVID, RSV, and norovirus.
Okay, let's go through those real quick one by one. The first one again?
Flu.
Okay, know what the flu is.
Then the second one, COVID.
We all know what COVID is. What was the third one?
RSV.
I don't know that one by the initials. And the last one was norovirus.
Uh-huh.
The norovirus is the one I know of because that's like the cruise ship illness. That's the one that usually leads to vomiting and diarrhea on cruise ships. What's the RSV?
Respiratory syncytial virus. Basically, it's the crud, pneumonia. It's a respiratory illness.
Okay, I was going to ask, is it the pukes or the poops? But it's in the middle.
It's
the norovirus. You're absolutely correct. That's they call it the winter vomiting disease.
Just fire up the Game of Thrones meme now. Winter is coming. No, I did not realize now we have a quademic to worry. To me, that just, again, scare tactics. It sounds like they're just, trying to scare us all. Look, can't we just be happy that there are no more murder hornets? Can't we just appreciate a W instead of focusing on the 4 L's we're about to be handed?
Not with AARP around.
Doom and gloom. Okay,
well,
so go ahead, Trey.
We look back on it now, and I realize at the time the government was doing the best they could and what they thought, but obviously in hindsight, a lot of bad decisions. And I say that because they're going to have a hard time when the next time something truly serious comes around in getting anyone to lock down, wear a mask, or do anything like that.
Right.
I still remember seeing people post things like, lockdown and it'll all be gone, and how it's worse. Well, the guy that's saying that is the guy that was running all around town who didn't do lockdown. If we all actually had stayed in our houses and stuff, it might have been fine. But whatever. You can't tell us all what to do. We're all rebels. No one likes being told what to do.
Well, I think they've pretty much figured out that the lockdowns really didn't do.
It's because no one did it.
No, that's not true, because it was airborne.
A lot of people did it.
Some people did it, but a lot of people also didn't do it. So it just seemed like
the death rates really weren't changed. I mean, it was, especially in those beginning variants of COVID, it was everywhere. Even people that were locked down, they got it. Like it was just, it seems like some people just had a predisposition to get it, and unfortunately, but then like the schools, kids weren't getting it. The school thing, because that really screwed up a generation that they lost a year of schooling.
Mm-hmm. But at least they didn't get stung by any murder hornets.
They might have.
You know why they didn't? Because they stayed their ass at home.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Everything from clothing to household items are getting more expensive each day. The world of fast fashion has complicated clothing production by shipping cheap parts around the world to whoever can sew them the cheapest. And now you, the consumer, are paying the price with rising costs. American Giant is about keeping things simple and close to home. They aren't affected by tariffs because their products never leave the U.S. Skip the tariff and snag yourself American-made clothing with American Giant. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. You can do that. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Just shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan, along with Trey and Jerry. Today on Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. We started out with some good news about how murder hornets have been eradicated in the United States. There's now a quademic that's being reported with 4 illnesses that we all have to be watching out for. And while I started with some good news, there is a fair amount of bad news, because while the murder hornets are gone and scary illnesses are still around that can kill us, that's not the only thing that can kill us in this fair world. Because recently, the 2024 statistics were compiled of the deadliest animals in the world. The deadliest animals in the world, ranked by the number of people they kill each year. Okay? Are you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Shark, 10 deaths per year. 10 deaths per year via shark. I would like to point out that is one of the ways in which I hope I don't die. I don't want to. I do not want to get eaten. I really cannot stress that enough. It's not necessarily an illogical fear, because it is possible. I do spend some time in the ocean. I'm really afraid of going to Africa at all because of all the things there that want to eat me. Some of which will be on this list. I really, not that you guys get any say in this, but I really don't want to get eaten. Okay. If I get eaten while snorkeling, don't you dare say at my funeral that I died doing what I love. I do not love being eaten. I like snorkeling, but at no time in my life did I ever think, I don't care if I die doing this. No, that's I don't want to. No, are we all clear? If I get eaten, I was unhappy about it. Okay. So sharks are responsible for 10 human deaths per year. Now keep in mind, some of those aren't necessarily because they got eaten. That's just, one bite and, blood loss. They maybe they made it back to shore, but they still died. Also at 10 deaths per year, wolves. Wolves still making a name for themselves, killing 10 people per year.
I find that surprising.
I don't.
I don't either. I mean, if you're out in the wilderness somewhere, I mean, it's not one you got to worry about. It's the 50.
Well, also, I don't think people realize how big wolves are.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah. Like wolves
really
are more Great Dane sized than So yeah, and they hunt and pack. They're very smart.
Unless you're Liam Neeson, in which case you stand a chance. You can just, put on strap some glass to your fists and go wolf punching.
I thought you were going to say Kevin Costner.
No, he dances with wolves. In in Liam Neeson's movie, he punches wolves. That one's called Gray. They called it Gray, but had they called it Punches Wolves, Oscar. Or Wolf Puncher. That's what it should have been called. Liam Neeson is Wolf Puncher. See? Oh, I get chills. For the record, I am being silly, but it's actually a really good movie. It's called Gray. It's good. 100 deaths per year attributed to lions. Again, I don't want to get eaten. I don't want to get eaten by a shark. I don't want to get eaten by wolves, and I definitely don't want to get eaten by lions, okay? Lions, 100 deaths per year. Hippos are extremely dangerous. This is where the numbers really escalate. Again, I don't know if you noticed, but other than the wolves, every creature I've mentioned is in and around Africa. Hippopotamus, 500 deaths per year. 500 deaths per year via hippopotamus. Another creature on this list that is calling Africa home, crocodiles. Crocodiles. How many deaths a year do you think crocodiles are given credit for?
I don't know, because hippos, for the longest time, were number one on the list of taking lives. So, and crocs are everywhere. So 1,000.
Wow. 1,000 people killed per year by crocodiles.
Wow.
I don't want to get eaten. Okay.
Or death rolled.
Right. Now, this one might come as a bit of a shock, but when you think about it, it makes sense. 25,000 people are killed every year by dogs. More than wolves, more than hippos, more than crocodiles, more than lions, more than sharks. The dog is extremely deadly. 25,000 humans killed per year by dog. Then there's snake. 50,000 deaths per year from snakes.
That's surprising.
I'm with you. I was a little surprised by that number as well.
Is this worldwide?
Yeah, this is definitely worldwide. Yeah, no, it's what you think. You think this is hill country numbers, Jerry?
I mean,
Fredericksburg's got some serious, lions. But yeah, snakes. 50,000 deaths per year, and then 475,000 people killed each year by this. What do you think it is?
Mosquitoes?
No.
I think that's a far higher number.
Humans. Humans killing humans. 475,000 deaths per year.
I find that hard to believe, but in the other direction.
Yeah, that seems like a low number.
475. Wow, we've been behaving ourselves lately.
I know, we're doing pretty good, right? Good job, everybody. Murder hornets and now each other. And then number one, Trey, you were actually correct. Number one, the most deaths per year at 725,000. The mosquito. 725,000 deaths per year. I did at first think, okay, if these are the deadliest animals on earth, killing the most people per year, there seems to be an interesting omission on this list. And that's the house cat. Because anyone that's ever owned a cat has seen the look, has seen or felt sometimes the hatred that could come along with it. But then I realized, well, that's probably just because they haven't been caught.
Now, it's probably why dogs' numbers are so high, is the cats are framing the dogs.
That's it. There you go.
There's also that.
Dogs kill 25,000 humans per year, but really it's more like 24,999 because the cat framed them. Keep that in mind.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Did you know that you can actually get more Treehouse? It's true. You can subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Bonus content and subscriber-only episodes, including video, are available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. That's patreon.com/treehouseonair to get Treehouse Plus. Very cool. I'm Dan, along with Trey, back here inside the Treehouse. I know the Christmas holiday feels like forever ago, but we just actually recently took down our decorations just over the weekend. So it still feels kind of fresh, and we're still seeing some of these Christmas stories or holiday stories come out, like the one we did yesterday where Walmart had to apologize for the Let It Snow sweater that depicted Santa Claus at a table allegedly about to do 3 lines of cocaine, which is a good one. There was another one that I saw yesterday that I was intrigued by, that I wanted to share with you, Trey, and that is a wife who buys her husband kids' toys for Christmas. Last Christmas, Kat Jones bought her husband a neon orange and blue Lego McLaren sports car. This had more than 1,400 Lego pieces, and it was exactly what he wanted. And that's not... Go ahead, Trey.
I mean, that's a heck of a nice wife, because that has got to be an expensive Lego set.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I didn't even think about what that would have cost. Lego McLaren Formula One car, more than 1,400 pieces. And that's what she got him last Christmas. I'm not even sure what she got him this Christmas. This would join many other toys that he'd requested for Christmas over the years, from things like remote control helicopters, Lego models of the Titanic, also a Lego model of a pirate ship, figurines from cult classic films like Big Trouble in Little China, which, are you as surprised as I am that they have figurines from Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah.
I want a little Jack Burton to hang on the shelf behind me. That'd be great. And maybe him standing across from a Lopan. And it's true. I had to look that up. They actually do have figurines, like little action figures from Big Trouble in Little China. Maybe you can have one of those. Maybe I'll get you one of those for your next birthday, along with that figurine of what's her name from Basic Instinct?
Oh, Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone, yeah. Because we found out last year that they have a figurine of Sharon Stone, not mid-crossing legs, but right before she crosses the legs thing. That exists. I guess they have figurines for everything. But yeah, they have figurines from Big Trouble in Little China. This guy is also part of a growing trend called Kidults. Kidults. I don't know how you say it. Basically, it's just adults that buy kids' toys. At first I thought, oh, come on, that's sad, dude. Then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, that's really not that bad. I mean, Lego sets and things, those aren't to me as kid specific as other things are. And the article I read about this, the lady talks about how the reason why she buys all these kid toys for her adult husband, especially the Lego sets, is that's how he sort of decompresses and unwinds. He'll go into his little toy room, or his man cave, and he'll work on his Lego sets and just putting the pieces on. And apparently it helps with his anxiety, and heaven forbid, it makes him happy. And she recognizes that and appreciates it for what it is. And the whole family's happy because of it.
I mean, as far as vices and stuff you could have, doing Legos and whatnot is pretty harmless. And I don't know if you've seen a Lego set recently, but some of them are incredibly complex that, you spend hours and hours and hours doing.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you're right. It at first it sounds really stupid, but then you're like, yeah, it could certainly be a lot worse. I mean, if it were Barbie dolls and stuff, I think it, probably look at it a different perspective, but
Yeah, she might not be so supportive of it.
yeah.
Well, look, I mean, it's Lego sets for the most part. So I mean, as long as he's not building a Lego woman and then and then she walks in on him in it, then thumbs up, right?
Yeah, I mean, doing that or with a bra around his head and some electrodes on the figurine.
And,
Trying to-
and we've got a Weird Science reboot.
yeah.
It did make me wonder though, if there was absolutely no judgment, or better yet, if there was no one watching, is there a toy from your childhood that you would play with today? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, so I'm going to give you a moment to think about it. Because after I read this story, I started asking myself that question. And I will admit, I've looked around, look around the yard and stuff, and think, this would be a good little corner of the yard here to play with my GI Joes.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I didn't have a lot of toys growing up, and so
So you would just want a toy? Jesus, that's sad.
I mean, probably the one toy, and especially what they make now, that if I were in a room by myself and the a lightsaber, some of the ones they make now are really cool. So yeah, I'll go that would be the one thing if I had a room myself and there were no cameras, just to make the noise.
On the other hand, if you could make a Lego Kelly LeBrock and then flip a switch.
Well, Kelly LeBrock then, not now. that falls into the David Caruso.
Very important distinction there.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're listening to Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Do you like to watch? Well, you can watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Treehouse on YouTube, or you can go directly to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@treehouseonair. That's youtube.com/@treehouseonair. Treehouse TV is on. I'm Dan, along with Trey, inside the Treehouse on Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Just talking about the wife that bought her husband kids' toys for Christmas, or not bought, but does each year and has for many, many years. And it brings her husband much happiness and lots of joy. Something else this holiday season that brought a lot of people happiness and joy was the house in Dallas, in the very glitzy and glamorous neighborhood of Preston Hollow, where it was known as the viral house or the viral Christmas house. This is the house that did go viral on social media because of its Christmas light display. Well, now the follow-up story to this is everything comes with a cost, right? So you have a house that has an ungodly amount of lights on it. It's a display. It's a showpiece. It's a showstopper. If you didn't see it, I mean, it's massive. It's a huge mansion, and it has lights all over it. It actually is one of the few times in real life where it put Clark Griswold to shame.
Oh yeah, and there were people were waiting hours to drive by this damn thing.
Well, now it's time to pay the bill, because the Dallas home with those viral Christmas lights cost Dallas taxpayers $25,000. I will say, I was very happy when I lived in Dallas. I'm happy that I don't right now, so I don't have to pay any portion of that bill for it. But $25,000 because it took 71 Dallas police officers away from responding to calls. The traffic actually got so bad in the Preston Hollow neighborhood that police had to get involved to help maintain order and safety. And despite a code enforcement warning that the, quote, light glare or direct illumination shall not cross a swear to God, I can talk for a living, but it just doesn't have any evidence of it right now. Despite a code enforcement warning that the, quote, light glare or direct illumination shall not cross a property line with an intensity that creates a nuisance. That's straight out of the HOA guide, I guess. The lights stayed on throughout the holidays. And there's even a Dallas City Council member who wants to explore ways to handle viral traffic jams for the future, just in case this house does it again or there's any others that are showstoppers.
That's I hadn't heard that there were technically any code violations of that house. But yeah, I'm sure. And honestly, in that neighborhood, they can certainly afford to pay the $25,000. It costs them far more than that just to have those lights done.
Just send the damn bill.
Yeah,
they got it. Just send them the bill.
Yeah, and or and next year, just plan on hiring off-duty DPD guys to just do the traffic, and that way you're not tying up the 911 system with all the calls and everything else.
Yeah,
but yeah, that area it really did turn into a fiasco. Like you had to avoid the major roads around the house just because you were going to get into a traffic jam of people trying to turn on the street.
Yeah, when I first saw the video of it, I assumed wrongly that it was in the Highland Park area of Dallas, which is its own little hamlet inside in the middle of Dallas, which is like the uber rich, whatever. But so is Preston Hollow. But Preston Hollow is a neighborhood, not a separate town or city or township. It's just a neighborhood. Highland Park, University Park, which is absolutely known for people going up and down the streets looking at holiday light displays and things, so much so that they even have, the horse and carriages that will take people through there. I don't know if Preston Hollow has that.
I don't know about. So one of the things this year that made it even more interesting is, yes, they have, especially Highland Park, tons of horse-drawn carriages. There's actually, like, you have to sign up now for next holidays to get a horse and carriage ride to see the lights. That's how far they book up in advance. But the other thing this year, there were bus tours, as everything from party buses to like Greyhound sized buses doing tours.
Jesus.
That creates its own little traffic jam, but you're correct. Highland Park has just less traffic. When you're in Preston Hollow, you're Preston Road, Hillcrest, and I guess, yeah, it was. I'm surprised more people didn't really throw a fit about that house, because if you lived right around there, that your life was hell for a month.
It's like when I lived in Arlington for a while, went to high school in Arlington, did the first part of what little college I did was in Arlington. And so when I lived there, when you live in Arlington, you have to have the baseball schedule. You have to know like when the Rangers are in town, out of town, so you can plan accordingly. Now it's the added wrinkle with the Cowboys being there. I mean, that's more obvious. It's usually on Sundays. But that's what you have to battle with if you live in those neighborhoods, is the traffic that comes in around the holiday season. And I've been on the side of things where I've been on the little tour that's going around. I remember with a previous job, we did, like it was like 20 people being pulled on a hayride kind of a thing around one of the fanciest parts of Dallas, going like, "Ooh, look at the pretty lights." Meanwhile, we're all like chugging on flasks and little airline bottles of stuff. Anyway, the point is, it's a good time. But at least that neighborhood's used to it. When you have something like Preston Hollow or some other town where it has out of nowhere this mega display. Yeah, I'm with you, Trey. I'm surprised that more people weren't in the neighborhood weren't more pissed off about it.
Yeah, because and especially in the park cities, and even more than that in Highland Park, in certain areas, it's almost expected that you're going to decorate your house and everything else because it's just a thing, and people are going to drive around and look at it. Ooh, ah, great. Yeah, Preston Hollow
it's a status thing. Yeah,
yeah. And I honestly, do you have it? Do you know what it probably cost them to do the house and those lights?
I don't know, but one of the first thoughts I had was at least it's LEDs, so it's less than what it would have been, say, if this was 30 years ago and it's the old C9 bulbs.
Oh yeah. I just to do a one big tree with lights.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run you about $5,000.
Well, now they can add 25 grand to the list of whatever it actually costs.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you miss any part of the Treehouse show, you can catch up with the Treehouse podcast. Yes, available on all major platforms like Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon Music, and a bunch more. Just go to treehouseonair.com and see all the options to listen to the Treehouse podcast right there on the show website, treehouseonair.com. Back inside the Treehouse, I'm Dan, along with Trey. I just forgot. It's time for birthdays. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. Today, we have got Zahara Jolie Pitt. She is 19. Although now that I think about it, I think she might be, if it was her or one of the other Jolie Pitt kids who renounced her Pittness and is now just, I think this is the girl that declared herself on her 18th birthday. I am just Zahara Jolie. Apparently, this has been a horrific family situation for many, many years.
Over a decade.
Yeah, so it was just recently announced that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce got finalized over an 8-year period. 8 years, and they finally said, enough, we're done. Here's the final settlement, blah, blah, blah. And I read a couple of stories about it. It was interesting just because Brad Pitt's one of those guys that on the surface, you see everything with him and Clooney and Ocean's 11. Seems like a jovial, fun, good time kind of dude. But then read a couple of things based on the divorce settlement or allegations. It's like, oh, he might be terrible. Apparently there was something on a private jet where the family was taking, and he had gotten mega drunk and did something really, really bad. I don't even know exactly what it was, but so bad that apparently most, if not all their kids want nothing to do with him.
Yeah, that's one of those things that for years, and actually he's, from what you read, he's generally well liked, but he obviously is not a very good father. Because yeah, that's been going on, and allegations of abuse and everything else. And honestly, you've never heard him really. You've never seen a spirited defense of him, really?
No.
Yeah, I thought that thing had been over and done with years ago, and then I was shocked as well to see that it was. They had just now finalized everything.
It's interesting because with the way people get canceled these days, left and right, I'm surprised that something more hasn't come out of this against him, just based on, the little bits that I've read about. I have no idea why, but
I think there's some people that are too big to cancel, and I think he might be one of them.
Think so. Like without like an actual smoking gun or something just too obvious to ignore.
Yeah, without something just horrific. Yeah, I don't know that I've theorized that there were some people they knew were bad people, but they were too big that to really try and take down, and I suspect he might be one of them.
Interesting. Well, one of their kids is 19 today, so happy birthday, Zahara. Noah Cyrus is 24. That is Miley Cyrus's sister. She's also a singer. She has songs: July, Making Me Cry, Stay Together, and Again. Other birthdays today: Kim Jong-un, beloved leader of North Korea. He is 42 today. Also, Rachel Nichols is 44. She is from, she was in the Conan the Barbarian remake, and she played Scarlet in the first G.I. Joe movie. Okay. R. Kelly is 57 and in prison, or I hope he stays forever.
Now,
and Bob...
There's someone who was not too big to go down.
No, he was ripe and deserving. And then someone who has not been canceled, and I hope to God he never will be, but I think at this point he might be too old for it anyway. A legend, a titan among humans, Bob Eubanks. Bob Eubanks is 86 years old today. And I would like to celebrate Bob Eubanks' birthday by sharing one of my favorite clips from the Newlywed Game that he hosted for so many beautiful years on television.
Basically more urban or rural, Kathy?
Oh, hang on.
I don't know what they mean.
You know it. You married him. What do you think?
Heck, he's urban.
He's urban.
Yeah.
How long has he been that way?
About 2 months.
2 months he's been. Do you think there's anything he can do about it?
He went to a doctor.
Oh, he did? Did the doctor give him anything for his urban?
He gave me something.
Oh, God. Oh, happy birthday, Bob Eubanks, 86 years old today.
He was so good at knowing when to keep pressing something and when to back off. But
how long has he been that way? Oh,
and you could tell it because he's thinking a little bit now. He's like, "Did I give him anything for it?"
Gave me something for it.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
The RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation benefits the families of police officers and firefighters in the DFW area killed in the line of duty. To donate, go to treehouseonair.com and click on donate. That's treehouseonair.com and click on donate. Just a little bit more inside the Treehouse today with me, Dan, along with Trey Trenholm. We were just talking about how Bob Eubanks is 86 years old today, the legendary host of the Newlywed Game. And while asking the young, dumb, blonde wife if her husband is urban or rural is, without a doubt, my favorite Newlywed clip. There is one other one that really tugs at my heartstrings, and that's one that technically didn't air, but it did air in a documentary. And this is one of my other favorites from the Newlywed Game, celebrating the birthday of Bob Eubanks here inside the Treehouse.
Girls, tell me where specifically is the weirdest place that you personally, girls, have ever gotten the urge to make whoopee?
In the
no. It's no. What I'm talking about is the weirdest location, the weirdest place.
Location.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, not only is her response great, which it's bleeped there, but she says in the ass. Have you paid attention to the husband's face in this that he's making? Okay, I'm gonna play this again. Watch the husband's face here, man. Yeah.
Is the weirdest place that you personally, girls, have ever gotten the urge to make whoopee?
In the
Look at this. He's like, okay, he's laughing. He's laughing.
No.
See him just shrug. He's like, what? Yeah, I
It's the
was
weirdest location, the weirdest place.
location.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give me an answer, please.
Oh, so you could tell that's a happy husband.
Yeah, clearly.
he's rolling with the donkey punches. Oh God.
No. It's no. What I'm talking about is the weirdest location, the weirdest place.
Is he saying it's good? Is the husband saying it's good? It's good.
I don't know. I've
Okay,
never really
let's,
paid attention to the husband.
Well, we need to. We're going to do it right here. Here we go. Listen in. See if you can hear what the husband's saying.
Make whoopee.
In the
No. It's no. What I'm talking about is the weirdest location, the weirdest place.
location.
Didn't it sound like he's saying it's good? You're still unsure.
I thought he was saying it still is.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's audio CSI just one more time here. Here we go.
And the urge to make whoopee.
In the
No. It's no. What I'm talking about is the weirdest location, the weirdest place.
Oh, right there. It sounds like he's saying it's still in.
Yeah.
He's really happy on that couch. Oh, man. Happy birthday, Bob. 86 years old. I bet he could still do laps around Steve Harvey or anyone else hosting a show.
Oh, yeah.
For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. You can also find and follow us on social media. For the show, it's at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. And for Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. We'll see you tomorrow, right here, back inside the Treehouse.